Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chief, back from the land of the Broadleaf, the Chief of the Broadleaf, one could say. Actually, that was Nicholas Malillo's nickname for a long time. It may still be, but Chief was in the Broadleaf last week, quite literally in the Broadleaf, because I walked out in the middle of the field and took pictures of broadleaf tobacco. Welcome in. Something's going on with my camera tripod, so everything looks really crooked in the background, or maybe the building is settled a little farther one way, because when we built it, it's not perfectly level in here. That way the rain rolls off one way, but we have to like scooch our body to be perfectly level with the on par with the background. Maybe I just need to shift all the stuff back there to be crooked so it looks level on camera. Welcome in. I hope you all have had a fantastic week since we saw you laugh. Welcome in, Michael the Z-Man, Cigar Pop. Welcome in, Fireborn. Welcome, Charles Adamson, Keith Johnson, Gary Zanstra, Supremo Tobacco. Welcome in, Bob Ellis, Mackie B. Welcome in. How are you doing this evening? Hope you're doing well. Rick Carroll, Matt Brugger. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you. Connecticut was fantastic, but being here with you is even more fantastic. Before we get into the show, I do want to say a big thank you to our show sponsors right over here, Drew Estate Cigar and Natura Cigar, making sure that Chief Talk is available on every Thursday that Chief Talk is available. I'm smoking a little broadleaf myself. This is the Liga Privada A, and because my eyes are still in visibility, it is focusing on my eyeballs in my face. So there you go. The Liga Privada A, a lot of broadleaf. I think this is probably like 1 or 2 leaves of broadleaf just to make this cigar. It's incredible. Or maybe it's both sides of the leaf to make this cigar, because it is a big old boy. I did get this from the Connecticut Barnsmoker this last weekend, so I figured, what better time is it for me to smoke this cigar than right now? Michael Carter says, or Michael Zakovic says, is it lagging or is it me? What is lagging? My audio to my video? What's lagging? Or maybe it's just connection. Well, usually we have these internet interruptions for a little bit, but I did see it looks like fiber wire is being pulled through the neighborhood that my parents live in. So if that's the case, we're going to have to do a little switcheroo and get on that fiber, because this wireless 5G bullcrap just ain't it. It's great for Googling stuff. It's not great for live streaming. Sorry that it's laggy for you guys. I will try to talk just a little bit slower. I do want to know, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? What are you getting into this evening? Hopefully it is looking good on your smoke calendar, also your drink calendar. Maybe you're pairing it with something nice. I'm gonna come over here, do one of these numbers, see how fast I can do this. Ready, set, boom, boom, boom. But that's the wrong one. Is this the right one? Oh no, I just grabbed the wrong background. Background, that one. There we go.
Hey, everybody.
There you go.
Usually Chief says, hey, here's Bob Cigar Guy. So I didn't know if he was done talking. So I did not want to interrupt him because he was on a roll. I am smoking the LT Gray Drill State. I did not get this at PCA or at PCA at Barnsmoker. I got this from the cabinet right behind me. So delicious and delightful. And I am glad to be here. And yes, that is fiber being pulled through our neighborhood. I don't know how long it's going to take till we can actually get on the fiber. Probably a couple months, but I'm going to look into it for sure. But the fiber only goes up to the house, and then I think you're supposed to have a modem or something like that, so it doesn't actually fiber into the building. I don't know how that works. I got no clue.
I don't know. He's on a wired connection. I'm not. I'm on a wireless connection. So we're just gonna have to. We're gonna have to push it. Let me make sure. Oh well, I'm not on.
Well, Steven is frozen. Well, I'm sorry, Chief is frozen.
I should be.
Are you back?
I think so.
There's no lag on what I see, so maybe that is cleared.
Was there lag before that you saw?
You were chopping. It was stopping your face, and then it would catch up, and then it would go behind, and then we catch up and go behind.
All right. Well, for whatever reason, my computer was Wi-Fi to your house instead of the studio. So, but that may not be a problem in the very near future, because my wife and I, we are house hunting. We got pre-approved for a mortgage loan, and now we are on the hunt. And my wife actually just found a house today that has a detached building built on the property that could be somewhat quickly transformed into another studio. So maybe I don't have to worry about Bob the Cigar Guy fiber anymore. But in the very foreseeable future, I'll still be here. Because even if I do buy that house and have that outbuilding, it's going to take a little while and a lot of Bob the Cigar Guy funds to make sure that, not your personal funds, the channel funds, to build the studio like we built here.
We just bought you a bunch of lenses.
Yeah, whatever.
You got a first class ticket.
Nope. I got close to first class. We are going to talk about the travel fun that we had this last week.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Cigars Daily Review by Lance. I'm back. I just finished writing my son's new MC. Oh wait. Oops, that's me. Cigar Pop. Cigar Pop, are you Lance? He says, I'm back again. There we go. But Cigar Pop just got my son's new M&C turn signals and tag lights so he can pass inspection.
Motorcycle.
But M&C stands for Motorcycle Club, right?
Could, but you don't take
Keith Johnson smoking a My Father Fonseca Mexican experiment with a Diet Mountain Dew. Ooh. All right, it says much better. Great. Well, that makes a lot of sense because now I'm on a Wi-Fi connection that's 12 feet away instead of a Wi-Fi connection that's 55 feet away. Charles is smoking a Dumbarton Tobacco Trust Sin Compromiso Gran Elefante.
Big stick.
Matt Berger smoking the Postania San Andreas. Nice. So yeah, we had the Barnsmoker. Barnsmoker was great. It was hot. It was really hot. I had expected we were going to be able to get away from the heat by traveling. I wonder how many miles it is between here and Ellington, Connecticut. Let's see. I'm
gonna guess 1,300.
No way.
Well, if you go by way of Arizona,
I mean, I have not clicked it yet. I'm gonna say 842. I don't think it's 1,000. Oh, 853.
So I win.
No. You were over, buddy.
I was closer. You never got
Not
that.
even. I said 842. I was 11 miles away.
Yeah, but there's no way you could make it in the mileage you said. I would just have to take extra detours and see things.
I could walk 11 miles.
Even in that heat?
Oh. Whew.
It was funny. You got to tell me about your green shirt and what your plan was.
Want me to tell that story?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, no. So this year, for the past few years, we've gotten Drew Estate staff shirts because technically at a Barnsmoker, we're kind of staff in the sense that like Bob, the cigar guy, and the first lady especially help out with registration, making bags. And, we all make bags. We all tear up, set up, tear down, and all that kind of stuff. I usually run my camera a lot. This year for Connecticut, I didn't run my camera nearly as much because I actually wanted to put my hands back into the sausage making process of Barnsmoker that got us into Barnsmoker the way that it did. And so this year, all the staff shirts were the same shirts, which was nice. In past years, there's been like a color code system of shirts. And there's been different versions of staff. And this year they decided, you know what? Let's stop this weird classism. No, this caste system. And there's 20 people, by the way. Let's stop this weird caste system of shirt colorage. And let's just all have the same color shirt. And this year they had a shirt color kind of like my hat. This almost OD green. Nice shirt.
It's a nice shirt, too.
I don't even think the shirt says staff on it. It just says it's got a DE logo on the front, and then it's got the DE4L on the shoulder.
Yep.
And so really nice shirt. Really love the shirt.
I bet you wear that to work.
Possibly. It's gonna have to see what happens when it comes out of the dryer. Because that shirt was a little thin. But if they have more in Florida, I may oops, I forgot my shirt. Let me grab another two. I could also say, hey, I need a first of the day shirt and a second of the day shirt. So anyways, getting to the story. We show up at the farm, and it is warm. And I worked on Friday, so I did not make it up there early like Bob the Cigar Guy and the First Lady did, and go through the walkthrough and pick up my shirt then. I picked up my shirt on Saturday morning because I didn't land until 12:30 midnight Saturday morning on technicality. So I got my shirt, took the one shirt off that I was wearing, put the other shirt on, and immediately I could feel I was going to sweat out that shirt. And so as I was going, I started to notice how dark my shirt was turning. So I looked over at Christine, or I don't remember if it was Christine or Eric or whoever it was. I said, hey, next time, you guys just need to take a picture of what the sweat color is of the shirt and make that color shirt so that when we're sweating next time, you can't tell that we're sweating because it was hot. And it was Connecticut in August, and we've got Florida in November, and I'm sure it's going to be hot in November for the Barnsmoker again. So maybe next year we'll have darker color green shirts. Just because they're not ever white shirts. I hope they never do white shirts. One,
you still told the story.
Amount of, huh?
You still haven't told the story.
What story?
Your goal with the green shirt once you started sweating
was to turn it all single color.
Yeah, you were trying to sweat it out all the way to the end.
Oh, I was. I mean, I did.
Which I think you did.
I did. I eventually turned it all one color.
No, you were hustling. You were hustling over there in the VIP tent, the VIP registration.
Well, I did the VIP registration, and then I came and did the general registration. And then after that, I ran around and gave help where help was needed, and then grabbed my camera, walked around a little bit, and then continued to do stuff around the farm. But yeah, no, I did fully turn my color one color, or my shirt one color. Now, travel up to the Barnsmoker, man, what a wreck. Michael Carter's about to enjoy a Padron 1964 Natural. Nice. Which one? And Cigar Pop is smoking an Underground Maduro in Toro. Mac Bergson says, Bob Cigar, I was just thinking of Florida. It's 1,100 miles from me. You still said 1,300, right?
I did. I think I had Vegas on the mind. I was thinking we'll drive to Vegas for PCA.
That's got to be longer than 1,300. I think 1,300 is like from here to Dallas. I think Vegas is a solid 2K, over 2K.
It's
3,600 miles across the country, right?
It's like 2,600 or 26 hours or something like that. I did look to see how long it would take for us to drive.
I think the country is like 3,600 miles wide from like midpoint to midpoint. And of course, I don't think that includes like road, because obviously roads aren't directly straight.
Right.
I'd be shocked if the driving distance between here and Las Vegas wasn't over 2,000 miles. Third cigar of the evening, my man. This year for Barnsmoker, usually for Barnsmoker, what I do is the Friday before, or the Friday of the Barnsmoker weekend is the day that we fly up, and we'll usually fly up. I guess we're always fly up that, unless it was like the E25 we flew up on a Thursday. We try to fly early in the morning so that we can land, get to the hotel, check in, have time to drop off our stuff, and then go to the walkthrough. The walkthrough is a DE staff only time. DE staff get to hang out. DE staff get to smoke cigars. We go to the farm. We see if anything's changed. We talk about all the things that are going to be different. There wasn't a lot different with Barnsmoker this year. I wish we had swag to show you, but we don't have swag. We'll have swag to show you at the end of the year. Unless you see it on Facebook or Instagram or eBay.
I looked yesterday. I hadn't seen any on eBay. I saw the towel and the glasses, but the backpack, it was not on eBay.
I did see deals going down on the farm for people's swag, though.
What do you mean?
One of the road dogs bought a book bag from a patron who received his bag, and the logo on the front of it was upside down. So Jeremy has a one-off upside down logo backpack, cooler bag thing, whatever it is. I've seen a lot of people vying for them online. But anyways, so this year, instead of flying out at 5 o'clock in the morning like Bob the Cigar Guy and the First Lady were doing, I worked until 5 p.m. Actually, I got off at 4:30. Thanks, Ernie, for letting me off early. Got off at 4:30, went home, got packed, got changed, got showered, Sammy Flo was there. We got to see old Sammy Flo. Said people will be a fool to give up the bag. Cooler bag is great. If I paid for a Barnsmoker ticket and I'd sell it because I don't really care for swag anymore. I used to be a big swag guy. Like I used to love the swag. I just got too much of it now. I don't have enough space for it. Now I love my Barnsmoker bag of 2020. That green tactical bag. I love that bag. I will never get rid of it. But I don't think any of the Drew Estate bags since then I would keep. Now I don't sell mine because I get mine. I feel like it's kind of a bad hat, but I'd rather just give it away to somebody instead of sell it because I've got it for free. Anyways, so I'll go to work, get off 4:30, go home, shower, pack. My wife takes me to the airport. Like a 10-minute drive to the airport from my house. Drops me off. Now, at 5 o'clock in the morning, my phone's ringing. I'm dead asleep. I hear my phone ringing. Bing, 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 bing. I'm like, oh man, my alarm's going off. Shut it off. Bing, 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 bing. Who's calling my phone at 5 freaking o'clock in the morning? Who's calling my phone at 5 freaking o'clock in the morning about Cigar?
Me. And you never answered.
No, I didn't. Or Shanna answered. You called her phone.
So I called Shanna.
So you called Shanna. And Shanna hands me the phone. Hey, it's your dad. Huh? What?
That's what it sounded like too.
Yeah, because I didn't go to bed till probably 2 o'clock. I'd only been asleep for a couple hours at this point in time. So, I know what the conversation was about. I don't remember exactly. Was I talking to you or was I talking to Mom?
Me.
But I remember the question was like, hey, what time's your flight at? I was like, 7:05. He's like, okay, well, our flight's going to get canceled, so we're going to book onto your flight. Okay. Talk to you later. I mean, I was not in the mood for conversation. I had only been asleep for a couple hours. And I had to get up and go to work.
Now, at this point, before the phone call, I had to go through TSA. We got our Sarah checked the bag. And so we went through, the first lady checked the bag. And so then we went through TSA, and that gentleman made the most eye contact of any TSA agent ever when he did the TSA tickle. And he was a little aggressive and very, very invasive. And so then we get through that, and then they delay us 15 minutes, delay us 15 minutes, delay us 20 minutes on top of that. So now I'm like, we've got 30 minutes to make it from touchdown to take off. This is not going to be good in Charlotte. Oof. And then all of a sudden it canceled. And so I was like, look, we'll just let it be. We'll just get another flight with Steven because they booked us on that flight. And I said, we'll just get with Chief. And Sarah's like, no, let me see what I can find. And so we ended up going up on some other airline, but because
you guys flew up United,
because the first lady had checked the bag, we had to leave the terminal, go out like we had already flown.
I didn't hear about that.
And we had to wait, and because Sarah's like, we'll just drive and get Charlotte. And I said, it's going to take too long to get your bag. It took an hour to get the bag. It took 4 freaking, and literally the carousel came on after about 45 minutes and 2 bags spit out, and that's it. And neither was Sarah's. And I'm sitting here, I'm starting to go, okay, I only have an hour and a half to get on this plane. This is really going to get on my nerves. And I was trying to be as chill as possible because the first lady was working up a meltdown. She was really getting overwhelmed. But then we get the stuff. We get the tickets that we're going to get on. We signed on. We transferred the luggage. And then we went up there, and the TS agent, who was so personal, was the one that was checking us in with our IDs. And as soon as I walked near him, he looked at me and he goes, hey, I already touched you. Weird way for a fella to say something. And so me trying to take and make it kind of funny, I said, yeah, I had so much fun. I canceled my flight so I could come back and get you to touch me again. And he goes, well, we can do that right here. And I said, no, friend, you do your job. And so then I went through another TSA agent, and he was not as eye contacty, but he was extremely touchy, and I had to take off my shoes both times. Nobody else had to take off their dang shoes. Not one person had their shoes go through. They had to take off. It's oh my God, it's so ridiculous. But then we got through. Then we got on the plane. We ended up getting the very first seat on that plane, which so we got to look at a wall, but we got legroom, which was kind of nice.
Bulkhead.
Yeah,
I've learned that's what that seating is called. Is bulkhead seating.
That's what it's called. Well, and that airline does not have carts. They just walk around with a bag of pretzels or a bag of whatever, and they ask you what drink you want, and they just put on a little hand serving tray, and they go fill them up and they bring them to you. It's very pedestrian, not like I expected American. So luckily we flew back American and everything was fine.
Well, I got to the airport and right on, so actually when I woke up at 8:00 in the morning, I had a text on my phone from you guys. But I also had a text on my phone that my flight had been delayed 15 minutes. It's like, man, that's weird. You're delaying a flight 12 hours away, 15 minutes. Okay, whatever. Greenville's a small airport. Like it's a good enough airport. Right? We're building it. Like, and it's like voted the country's best little airport in the world, or in the state, or in the country. The top little airport of the country. GSP, baby. We doing it. It's a great airport to fly in and out of. I love it. But not a lot of big planes. We don't have big security. So sometimes security can get backed up. So anyways, they delayed me 12 hours ahead of time. I'm like, fine, whatever. I'm going to work. Hopefully I can get out at 4:30, go home, get a shower. Because I don't want to smell like cigars. I work in a cigar shop. I've been in a cigar shop for like 6 or 7 hours. By the time I get out of work, I'm going to be just cigar. So I don't want to do that on the plane. Whoever's next to me. I want to get on. I'm just going to go take a shower and go to the airport, check in, take however long it takes, and then go. So I get up to the airport, get dropped off. Not a lot of people out in front of the airport. Not abnormal. Walk in the airport. I don't have to do any of the check-in stuff because I check in on my phone 24 hours early. Walk up the steps, go to security. There's nobody in security line. There's nobody in security, going through the terminal, like the tunnels or anything like that. So I literally go up. Dude takes my ID, takes my picture, walk up to the thing, take my bag off, put my take my book bag off, put my camera case in, put on the thing, go through, hands up, scan out. Literally 55 seconds.
So no touching, right?
No touching.
All right, now y'all people pay attention. I want you to look at the screen.
Okay, quit telling everybody I look like a terrorist. Okay, I made the joke.
Had to pick.
I made that joke one time, and you won't let it go down.
It's the truth. I look like a kind old soul, and you look like you're going to just
pinball
tear things up.
Anyways, 55. I meant ball on ball. Anyways, so I go through. It literally takes 55 seconds to get through security. But as soon as I walk out of security into we have two terminals, but it's one long flat hallway. Terminal A is left, terminal B is right. As soon as you get in that hallway, it was an auditory overload. Oh my goodness, there are people everywhere in there. We've got a couple restaurants, we've got fast food, we've got Dunkin', we've got a couple little shops or whatever, and there's just people everywhere. And I'm flying out of A0, so it's right at the top of the escalator. You can see it when you walk in. And it is packed. I look up. This is fun. So I walk up. I look, and there's a plane in my gate. I've got like 50 minutes until I have to board or something like that. Did somebody say Broadleaf as he enters the chat with Mi querido Sakahan, my boy, Gary Brooks? I'm smoking a Liga Privada A as my Broadleaf. And Bob Cigar Guy is smoking the LT grade, which has H79 in it. So anyways, sorry. So I go up the gate, or go up the escalator to the gate, and there's a plane there. It's an American Airlines plane. And I'm like, great, plane's here. And then I look at the TV and it says to Philly, and I'm like, oh, That's not great. And then I get another text message. Beep, beep, beep. American Airlines here. You have been delayed another 25 minutes. I'm like, ooh. Now that makes my transfer time from touchdown wheels to the next plane taking off 40 minutes. And everybody knows that the plane shuts the doors 15 minutes to take off time.
Right.
So it's really 25 minutes. But that's 25 minutes from when I land to the terminal, out the plane, off the plane to the other plane. So I'm thinking, shoot, 25 minutes, probably take about 10, 15 minutes for the plane to get off the tarmac to the terminal, get off the plane. I'm going to have about 10 minutes to run my fat butt across this airport. I can do it. I'm riding on a small plane. I'm getting on a big plane. I'll be able to get off the plane. No problem. I'll just ask somebody at the airport, hey, can you let the stewardesses know you got somebody who's on a tight connection? If you can bump them up a couple of seats, let's do it. So I see the Philly flight. All this is going through my head. And what do I see? My boy Juan, who is a member at the lounge, who works for American Airlines part-time because he likes to fly, working the gate. And I'm like, oh my goodness, man, oh man, do I have the hookup here. But he's super busy because all these people from Philly are getting their flight that's about to be canceled. They're all freaking out because they're all going to cancel their own flights, and then they're going to have to get their baggage and their luggage and all this other stuff. So he's doing all this other stuff. I'm not going to bother him. But I'm watching from a distance. You know, I have my camera case, which if anybody's ever seen my camera case, it's a Pelican case. And it's got a Pelican case with wheels, and it's got a handle. And if you pull the handle up, you can sit on top of the Pelican case and lean up against the handle. It's kind of like a little miniature mobile seat. And I love that. So I sit down on my little case, and I'm just watching all the chaos unfold. And my boy Juan, who works for American Airlines, is also a member at Cameron Lounge, says, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to follow Juan. When it comes to the bathroom, I'll be like, yo, what's going on, man? Because I've now noticed no planes are landing. No planes are taking off out of GSP. Something's going on. So Juan goes down. He goes to the bathroom. I'm not going to go to the bathroom behind him. So I sit down in the little seating area outside of the bathroom in front of gate A5 or 4. I can't remember which one it is. But I was supposed to be in A0. So I've gone down a couple gates. And again, this is not a very big airport. So the gates aren't squished up on each other like Charlotte or Atlanta or something like that, where you can have a 1, 2, and 3 within like 12 feet of each other. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, this plane pulls in right up to the gate that I'm sitting in front of. And then my boy Juan comes out, stands at the computer. These two people come up behind him. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to hop in line. And I'm going to get in line like I'm supposed to be talking to Juan. And I'm going to give Juan a break. I'm going to be like, hey, man, let's pretend like you're helping me out. And then you can not have to worry about all these other people talking to you. And you can just pretend to talk to me about really important stuff. So I get up there, and he looks at me, and a big old smile comes on his face. And he's like, are you on this plane? I was like, no, I'm on another plane to Charlotte. It's getting delayed, and I think it's going to get delayed again because of the gate over there at Philly. And he was like, oh, that plane is about to get delayed another hour. He was like, but you're in luck because this plane is an emergency plane that was called here earlier for all the cancellations to Charlotte that we had throughout the day. I'm going to transfer you to this plane because it's going to take off at the time that your original plane was supposed to take off at. I'm like, Juan. Actually, I say, Juancito, my man. Thank you so much. So he books me on the plane, transfers me over, gets all the stuff done. It's a 75-passenger plane. Bob the Cigar, how many people do you think rode on the plane to Charlotte with me?
75, 74.
Negative.
How many?
11 other people.
So you got off quick.
Rode the plane to Charlotte with me. Now, the thing that I thought was kind of funny was we had two airline stewards, two dudes, on the plane. And I sit down in my seat that I'm supposed to be sat down in, and it's a tight seat towards the back of the plane in the aisleway. I'm like, hey, dude, you just said you're about to close the doors. Is there any way that I can go sit up in first class? Because there's only 2 people up there. He was like, well, we got to make sure that when the doors close, because we could have all of those first class people out there and we don't want to have to move you again. I was like, okay, yeah, dude. Well, those doors close. Just let me know. I'll jump up there. I won't even sit in the first seat. I'll just sit in the back of first class. So they shut the doors. Pilot comes on. Jumping on American Airlines. Sorry about all the confusion today. We're going to be flying to Charlotte in like 10 minutes. We got the doors shut. Just sit back, relax. No drink service on this flight because we're only in the air 15 minutes and on the ground. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for flying American Airlines. So I'm like, perfect. There's 2 people in a like 15, 14 seat first class. There's 12 people on the plane. We could all go sit in first class. I said, hey, dude. Hey, man, I'm moving there in first class. I'll just sit right here at the back. He's like, the best thing I can do for you is you can come over here and you can sit right where the first class ends and the regular class starts. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of leg room there. So
you should have slipped them in a $20 bill. That's what you should have done. You should have shook his hand and given him $20 and you would have got first class.
Listen, the plane had 12 people on it.
You still got to give
there
him a
were
reason.
2 people in first class. The only benefit that I would have gotten from first class would just have been a bigger seat.
I still would have done it. Say I bid first class.
There's no drink service. There's no snack service. That's my wife calling me in the middle of a stream. And I guess she just realized that I'm in the middle of the stream. It might have been one of my kids, actually. Come give her brother a break. Put me in first class for free. It don't hurt you. They got flock cameras on a plane. Are they taking pictures of my face that I'm not supposed to be there?
I hear you, but I learned this by watching a YouTube video of this rich guy.
Charles, there were 2 people in the front of the plane aside from the pilot.
I got they
put me the row behind first class. I could have gone up one more row.
Look, so I watched this on YouTube.
Straight facts.
This guy's rich. He trips. He travels all over the place. And he says, as soon as he gets to a hotel, whoever's checking him in, he takes a $20 bill out and he goes, I know we're going to get great service. And I know y'all don't get appreciated enough. And so I just wanted to give you this to say thank you for taking care of us. And so I do that. I get there. I say, thank you for taking care of us. And everybody at Duro State, we love coming here. This is our favorite hotel in this area. And he goes, my pleasure. And he's really? I said, yeah, sure. Enjoy. I do it every Barnsmoker. And so then I said, oh, I'm going to grab a couple sodas real quick. This is before you got there. I set the sodas down. I said, go ahead and ring me up. I don't like putting stuff on my room. He goes, I got it. Don't worry about it. Those sodas cost $6 a piece. Right. And so for the rest of the time, I got exceptional service from that feller.
Did he come tickle you too?
No tickling from him. Thank God. Thank God. But sadly, I'd love to regale the rest of the stories with you. We haven't even talked about Barnsmoker yet, but I have to get up at 3:00 in the morning, and I just got home 2 hours ago, and that's what the rest of my week and weekend is going to be. So I just wanted to come on and say hello. I am so glad that you tuned in, and Chief is going to have you in great hands. He's not the friendly skies, but he is the friendly YouTube channel, and Chief is going to take over and make things amazing. Chief, take me out.
All right, Bob the Cigar is gone. No, it's shameful. You're absolutely right. This dude's a hater. I couldn't believe it. Shameful does say Bob would have let him tickle him for first class. J-Bait says, tickle me BTCG, not tickle me Elmo. No, I thought, I was like, come on, man. Like, okay, weight distribution or whatever. Who cares? Like, there were 2 people in the front. There were 10 people in the back. I mean, technically, there were 4 people in the front. Well, 5 people in the front because there were 2 people in first class, 2 pilots, and an airline steward dude in front. And then there were the other 10 of us and the other airline steward behind with us. So there was 11. So you could have put me in first class. Just one more row forward. I wasn't even asking for like first class. I was looking for back of the boss, Rosa Parks first class. Like I was looking for, sing a spiritual hymn first class. Right at the back of it. Gary Brooks says you should have smiled at him. Then again, it's probably how Bob gets the special TSA treatment. Yeah, he probably slips the $20 to TSA too. You guys just do such a good job. And they think, you know what? We just need to give this guy what he's looking for. This dude's a freak. And we're going to use the back of our hands to make his day. As much as he hates he talks about hating it. Every time he tells a story, he's got a smile on his face. I've never seen Bob the Cigar Guy talk about a TSA experience where he's not smiling. Like, he's never not smiling when he talks about a TSA experience. So, who knows? Who knows what Bob the Cigar Guy is paying for when he goes on these trips? I'll have to do some investigative journalism when we fly to Florida later in the year. Charles Adams says, I thought you said you were all the way in the back. I figured they did that for the ballast. Thanks, Charles Adamson. You're supposed to be on my team. I'm surprised they weren't scared you'd go all Lobo on them. That's funny. I just think what I think it was is the guy, he had said that he was a part of the flight crew that was supposed to take off at 5:30 this morning. And so they sent him back out from the airport, but they didn't book him a hotel. So they literally had gone and hung out at restaurants all day. So he was probably pissed. And then here's this big, dumb, poor jerk who's like, hey, man, I want to sit up front. Can I sit up front? He was like, I'm going to show this hillbilly hick who's got the power. Bob, the happy ending guy. Yo, BTHEDEG guy. Ooh, ED. Whoa, that's a different touch. Special massages. Hey, I'm not me. But no, Barnsmoker was dope. It was hot. It was really hot. I would hoped that I was going to escape the heat and humidity that we've been having here in the Southeast, and that was not the case. It was hot and humid in Connecticut. Now, we'll say around 3:00, some breezes came through, and they were nice breezes. He's back again.
Can't remember if I unplugged the rabbit or.
There's no lights on, so.
I know, but I'm making sure because I'll get up at 2:00 in the morning.
Look, you could have been on the show an additional 6 minutes. 6 minutes. It don't take any longer to do what you need to do. Oh, yay. No wonder TSA flags you.
What?
I said, no wonder TSA flags you. You just be touching stuff. Anyways, I wore a kilt at the Barnsmoker. So that was a elite move because the breeze was doing its thing. And now I did not wear traditional. For all you freaks out there who are already typing it, no, I did not wear traditional style. I had on some coverage. But no, it was nice. The tobacco was nice and tall. The for anybody who's been to the Connecticut Barnsmoker ever before, the big field in the middle was full of tobacco this time, and that's my favorite. Is when they have the big field in the middle with the tobacco grown up. In years past, they've had different fields cut, and for the past couple of years, I believe the middle's been cut. They used it for parking a couple of years ago. My 4-year-old is texting me on Siri chat. So you're not supposed to tell anybody about that part. but no, it was a good time. The tobacco was tall. Everybody seemed to be having a good time. I don't think there's really anything different with the Barnsmoker this year in comparison to other years. We did not have, obviously there was no Hoya activation, since Drew Estate is no longer the U.S. Distributor for Hoya de Nicaragua. There was no Hoya activation this year. There also was no Herrera Esteli activation this year, which I felt was interesting. Usually they have like the little basketball courts and stuff for Herrera Esteli. They did not have that this year. Now, there was a huge storm that blew through Friday night into Saturday. And that's one thing that ended up delaying I was supposed to land at 11 o'clock on Friday night, and then I ended up not landing until 12:30 a.m. I handed out at the saloon. Gotcha. Gary Brooks says you got to go traditional. I always have to warn Liz, don't pants me. I'm commando. Well, I did learn about that, but I was sworn to secrecy. A lot of tents got destroyed between Friday and Saturday because there was a huge storm that rolled through and destroyed a lot of the tents. They did have the Brothers of the Least activation. They had Liga Privada activation. They had Pappy Van Winkle activation. Were they handing out cigars at Pappy Van Winkle? I don't know. I did not walk around all the tents and get cigars. The Limitada, although that's a nice cigar. Sam Flo was surprised no Herrera. Willie was sitting under the red tent just chatting it up with the peoples. So they did hand out the Pappies at the Pappy. So I saw the Pappy tent. When I saw it, there was nobody at it. So I didn't know if they were handing out cigars or not. Pappy handed out cigars. I know they had the Undercrown Rolling booth again. So one that was new is they had the Drew Estate Blackened band, and they were handing out blackened cigars in front of that. So that was a new. So they replaced. I'm assuming they replaced Willie Herrera's activation with the blackened activation. So they were handing out blackened. They were also handing out acid at the Subculture Studios acid tent. So there was a lot going on. The BOT activation gave out shots of their. So last year in Connecticut, the BOTL tent was handing out cigars that they were testing for a BOTL blend, which I can't believe they're getting rid of the original blend because that was such a fantastic blend, and it makes me want to never smoke the BOTL ever again. But that's just personal. People seem to be having a good time. Aside from the heat, food was great. I did not get any of the barbecue this go round, but I did get a couple of the smash burgers, and they were dope. The pizza, I don't know what Detroit style pizza is. If Detroit style pizza is what they made, I am not a Detroit style pizza fan because it was like a lot of bread, no sauce, and pepperonis on top. They have yet another blend coming out. Test blend. Maybe they'll hand out in Florida. Gary Brooks says, love the BOTL. Just finished my last box not too long ago. Bummer. I love the BOTL. I think I have one in my smoke when the world is ending stash. Chevy says it was not Detroit. It said Detroit pizza. It said Detroit style pizza. So, but I don't know. Yeah, you saw me eat that pizza. I was just hungry. Detroit's only saving grace is the cheese on the edge that gets all crispy. I call it a focaccia. Now, I love focaccia bread. Let's look up Detroit style pizza. Let's see what the Google. That looks kind of like I mean, these pictures kind of sort of look like Detroit style. Like what I had. Now, this has more sauce on it. and more cheese. I mean, pepperonis looked like that. They were all cupped up and full of oil. You act like you're from Detroit or something, Jay. It was a lot of bread, but I mean, for me, after busting my singular cojones working the registration and then sweating 7,000 gallons of water out, I needed some carbohydrates, and that presented itself some carbohydrates. Now, I did have some incredible jerk chicken. I guess it was a special pan that was made for Matty Rock by Bear's Barbecue, and it was incredible. Sammy Flo, you had some. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Lots of Detroit style here in Michigan. You gotta love lots of bread. I love lots of bread, but I don't love lots of bread on my pizza. When I love lots of toppings. I like a thin crust. I like sauce, cheese, and meat. That's my kind of pizza. I do love a New York style meatball pizza. When I was in Brooklyn years ago, I've been to Brooklyn a few times. When I was in Brooklyn the first time, I had some meatball pizza that was incredible. They were like meatballs that were cut in half, and they're like domes. And then I had some that were kind of like shaved, but they were thick. And then the third time I had it, it was back to the domed half meatballs. And they don't look appetizing because they're like super gray, but man, they were good. Yeah, I had a winglet because it was the little dicky do, and then the flat and the drum. I had a wing, and then I had a thigh. I could have gone down on some. Chicken breast. Gary Brooks, why I like Chicago style. It's like a pizza topping bonanza. Great for low carb. Just eat the insides. Yeah, I could go for a Chicago deep dish. But I don't eat a lot of pizza as it is. I did finally knock off check off a movie that I've never seen before, that I've been told I'm crazy that I've never seen it before. I watched the full movie of The Big Lebowski. I don't think it's as good of a cult classic as some people talk about The Big Lebowski being a cult classic. It was a good enough movie. I liked the second half of the movie more than I liked the first half. I thought it was kind of slow. I love John Goodman, but I could not stand John Goodman in The Big Lebowski. Could not stand him. He is irritating the full out of me. And then Steve Buscemi's character, for me, was probably the funniest character of the whole entire show. The dude does abide. We have a place here where the cheese and meat toppings are a good inch thick over the whole pizza. Hard to eat more than a couple of pieces. Now that's a pizza I'm talking about. That's the kind of pizza I could see eating myself. Careful, man. No, I'll probably go back and watch it at least another time so I can try to get some more of the quotes out of it that aren't just like, the ones that you see on TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. But my favorite quote, and probably the funniest part of the movie for me, was when the dude is talking to the Big Lebowski, and the Big Lebowski is talking to the dude about not having a job, and he's making excuses for the Chinaman peeing on his rug, and I need to be the one to pay for it, and how is it my fault? He's like, that's all you guys do. You complain about everything. He's like, I never complained when I lost both my legs, to a Chinaman in Korea. That's peak cinema for me, right? That was funny. Or when John Goodman says, you keep saying Chinaman. Chinaman is not the approved nomenclature. Call them Asian Americans. And then he continues to use the word Chinaman going forward. It's really funny. Obviously, that's a part of why they wrote it into the movie, so it could be a running shtick. But no, that's probably the funniest thing for me. But yeah, I knocked that off my book or my movie list. Now I need to find some other movies that people talk about all the time that I've never watched. So I need to probably start making a list of movies that I should probably watch on planes. Although The Big Lebowski on my 14-inch iPad, probably not the best movie to watch when you don't know there's full frontal nudity in the movie. I downloaded it on my iPad before I left, so that just in case the internet didn't work on the plane, I could still watch it. And when I downloaded it, I saw that it was rated R. So I clicked the rated R button to see what it was rated R for, and it said gun violence, drug and tobacco use, sensual themes or thematic sensuality or something like that. But usually when there's nudity in the movie, like it'll say straight up nudity. And it didn't. So I was like, oh, I should be good. And then I had a sneaking suspicion whenever the dude goes to talk to the Big Lebowski's daughter. I had a sneaking suspicion when all the art supplies were everywhere, there was about to be some nude person coming through the movie. And I did not expect it to be through the air. But I did pull my iPad down off of the chair back and put it in my lap and kind of hover over it. So, and then I skipped the whole entire musical portion of the middle of the movie because I just could not tell if that was going to have anything in it. So I do need to go back and watch at least that part because I did not watch that part. But yeah, I gotta call Netflix and be like, hey man, next time it's got nudity in it, just let me know. But a good movie. I mean, not a bad movie, just not a movie that I'm like, I get what all the hype is about behind it at all for me. But yeah, Connecticut Barnsmoker, great time, a lot of fun. Smoked with Jonathan Drew. I brought him a Opus X 25th El Tributo, which is a Churchill Opus 25th. I gifted it to him. He smoked with me. I smoked the Opus 77th Shark with him, and a Destino Al Siglo Besos de Amor. Smoked those with him. So that was a lot of fun. Got to kick it with all the Drew Estate guys. Got to kick it with the Road Dogs a little bit. Hung out with the J Bates, the J Amazing. Twilight Zone Terror, 20,000 feet would be a good movie for the flight. Okay. I'll have to put it on the list. I usually try to catch up on my Apple TV stuff on the flight. But I'm caught up on everything because everything's kind of live right now for the most part. The only one that's not live, because I think it's already completed the most recent season, is Shrinking. And I'm just kind of watching that at my own leisure, at my own pace. But Silo is live right now. My wife and I are watching that every Friday. And then Ted Lasso is back and watching that on Tuesday nights. I just need what's the other one? Oh man. What's it called? Nope. Not The Crowded Room. Severance. Waiting on Severance. I wonder if they have when is next season of Severance? Mid to late 27. Oh man. Whew. Darn. Let's see. I'm laughing because Bob left you while you try to puff and talk with an A. Like the time you left Jay Bates with the Stupid On Show. No, that's true. He did. He abandoned me over here with this. I still have a full cigar to smoke. I have not, but my wife and father-in-law went to go see it in theaters, a month and a half ago or so. My wife's not big into sci-fi movies. My father-in-law is. So for Father's Day, they went out together and watched that movie. My father-in-law started reading the book, but then saw there was a movie and decided to go watch the movie before he finished the book. Gary Brooks says tonight was movie night, but Liz is sick. We're going to watch Mendo and Grow. Oh, is that out on Disney Plus? Is Mendo out and Grogu out? Or is it rentable? August 25th on Blu-ray? How are you watching it? How are you doing that? I know sometimes Disney Plus will put it as rentable before you can watch it for your subscription, but I have not watched it yet. I want to watch that, and I want to watch new Spider-Man. But we keep not having enough time to go do either one of them. As I said at the top of the show, my wife and I are in the process of buying a house. My guy. Yes. I love that. We're in the middle of the process of buying a house. And so school just started back. So all of our free time has been desperately eaten up by other things right now. And so I would have loved to have taken Jackson to go see the new Spider-Man this weekend, but we've got to help college students move into the university right down the road from us that my wife and I went to, our alma mater. And then next Thursday, we've got some stuff we got to do for the university as well. So maybe in 2 weekends' time, I get to go, but maybe we'll be looking at houses again or something. I don't know. Who knows? Life is very busy right now, but it's a good thing. This is what we worked for. It's exciting times. And like I said, my wife actually found a house today. What up, Sammy Shade? Holy camole, man. How are you? Yeah, I got to get on the elevator now. That's what I want to try to, and it's more the interest rate, which the interest rate going up means house prices come down, which is technically a good thing, but you still end up paying your monthly payment the same amount. But I guess there's always the chance of getting into your house long enough where you can refi at a lower percentage or something like that. Sammy Shade, how you been, man? Hope you're doing well. But no, my wife found a house tonight. As I was leaving the house to come over here, that has a separate detached 800 square foot barn that has power running to it that could be transformed with some work. But I mean, we built this whole entire barn with studio in it. It would need some work, but it could be a viable Chief Talk location that I wouldn't have to keep driving over here. So we're trying. We are pre-approved. We are locked in with our realtor, and we should be touring houses as early as Sunday. Honestly, we have a meeting with our realtor tomorrow, and then Saturday. How far from my parents' house? It's probably about 25-ish minutes, which is about the distance that I travel now to my parents' house. So it's not far. This house is not exactly in the location that we would want, but the cool thing about this house it's a house that was built in 1973. It's all brick. It's got good bones, and it was renovated while the people who are selling it were living in it, and they renovated it to be this beautiful farmhouse style brick ranch, basically. It's a beautiful house. It's just not exactly where we want it to be. There are other options out there. We're not completely sold on a house. The house that we really wanted went contingent about a week before we could start the process to get pre-approved. That was a big blow. That was a huge setback. Well, it wasn't a huge setback because we weren't even started yet, but we were like, look, if that house is there day one and we get, pre-approved, get a realtor, let's just call them, submit a bid. But that did not happen. But it's I like that it's not one of these new construction homes that seems like it was put up in 2 months. And no hate to those who do that. I don't want to get in. I honestly don't want to get into, what they call the starter home, where you buy a house in a neighborhood, live in it for 5 years, build some equity, and then sell it off, and then take the equity and then the money and go buy another house that you live in forever. I don't want to do that, because if we had done this 10 years ago, sure, absolutely, because 10 years ago I'd had 0 kids. But now I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old, so I have a 9-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So I will. Gary Brooks, there's definitely a lot of talking that I'm going to want to do with you, because, and so I think you would love my boss. I think you'd love him to death. He's a lot like us, but he's a lot like you in the sense of like super tech minded. And he's been teaching me a lot of stuff, about, like power over internet. I now say PoE, and like a year ago I'd have been like, huh? But I feel like that's something that you probably say on a daily do y'all own your own shop? No, I just work for a cigar shop. Vireborn, I despise moving too. That's another thing. I don't want to move into a house, and then be there 5 years and then have to move back out again. I'd like to move and stay moved. But nobody ever knows what life is going to kick at them. But I'm learning, like, camera systems, and why it's not the smartest to just go with the Amazon systems or other systems like Blink or other where you don't own your footage. So I'm looking at Ubiquity. I'm sure you're familiar, to where I'm going to be able to have a hard drive where it runs to my house and the cameras are PoE, and everything in the house can be PoE that requires a signal. And basically the only thing that's ever going to run off of the Wi-Fi is my phone, iPad, computer, and maybe light bulbs. Because I do want to do a bunch of like modular home stuff with smart things, and I feel like you would top to bottom. I figured you had to have been. So yeah, I've got a couple in a cart already saved away for. I'm not going to put any cameras in the house, but around the house for sure. I really want you to come hang out at the shop too, because I have got your first tab, baby. But no, it's a fun time. It's just busy. So we're not getting to go watch the movies. It's also good because I can continue to save the money to buy things for a house. Not just buying a house, because it doesn't just stop when you sign the line. You gotta sometimes buy washers, dryers, refrigerators. Hopefully this house has all those in them, so hopefully they'll leave them behind. And the price they're selling the house for is well under what we've been approved for. So we could maybe be like, hey, we'll pay an extra $2,000 if you just leave all this stuff behind for us. Or not, maybe, I don't know. But we're going to let the realtor handle that for us. If I've learned anything, is that I like to now lean on others who are craftsmen in their fields and let them do the work for me instead of me trying to have to learn. Waiting until spring to buy the new UDM Beast would have given you my UDM Pro. It's still yours as an upgrade for you when I switch. Huh. I don't remember exactly which one I've been looking at. Let me see. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, it's the Unify Protect NVR Instant Kit. So it's got the base camp. It comes with the hard drive and then 4 of the turret cameras that I would mount outside, but also PoE. So, and again, and I'm sure that there's a lot more that I'll get into. Another thing that I'll probably definitely talk to you about and my boss about getting other things in the house. But I'm learning that has caused me to like what, because I knew that he was big into it. And we also use Ubiquity at the shop. And so I was talking to him about Blink because my parents use Blink. And he was like, yeah, you can do that, but you don't own your footage. You don't own your security footage. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. Like, that's kind of scary. He's like, it's completely scary. And so we got talking about all these things, like all these things people put in their house that tracks data that they don't own. And so I want to try to make sure that everything I put in my house to do things, smart home, smart lights, calendars, cameras, whatever, if I can do it to where I own all of it outright 100% and it's localized, I'm doing it. All right. Well, we're here at 9:30 and we're not talking about cigars anymore. You guys are just listening to me and Gary Brooks talk about security cameras and whatnot. So we are going to end it here. I thank you all for hanging out with me. We are right here in the middle of August. Other systems are pricey and liberty-minded person's nightmare. Yeah. We're halfway through August. My goal is to try to do a month of Saka next month. It's my birthday next month. I turned 35. And I want to do, and I'm going to do a giveaway. Yeah, you guys have Blink. I thought that's what I said, right? With Blink. But you don't own your footage. Somebody else does. Anyways. I want to do a big giveaway on my birthday. And I want to do a Saka. Yes, the first lady should be on this Saturday. I think this is her Saturday to do a show. And I want to do a Saka birthday. I've got a really cool birthday giveaway I want to do. And I'm probably going to do it regardless, but I'd love to do a Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust themed month and then end out the month with Steve Saka. So I'm going to send him an email. I need to get on that to see if I can book him down, or not book him down, but book him so that he can come on the show. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Fireborn's gonna be 55 next month. Yeah. No, you don't. You think you do. All right. Thank you all for hanging out with me. It's gonna be a good week, hopefully, for everybody. Continue to hang out over on the Discord. I know we're not doing pick of the week anymore. Kind of just got to be a bunch of the same types of photos. So it just really wasn't fair, but continue to post them over there. And it was kind of hard to pick, just a bunch of, iPhone photos that kind of all look the same. Not that you guys need to do anymore, but Discord's just there for hanging out now. And it has always been that way. But do continue to hang out over the Discord. And And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go.